Did you do that?
You know, I felt like he was just too much of a smart mouth, and I didn't like that. So I was like, JP, look this up. Sure enough, his dumb ass doesn't even own his.
Caleb, take it easy. I'm gonna take care of him for you. I promise you. I promise.
Edgar Belanger's recent actions have stirred up a storm reminiscent of his past support for David Benavidez. But the current situation is even more shocking and troubling. Belanger's antics seem to be closely mirroring whatever Caleb Plant is doing against him, only adding more fuel to an already heated rivalry. Canelo Alvarez has weighed in on the drama, and true to form, he did not side with Belanger, especially given his budding friendship with Plant. It's almost easy to forget that Alvarez and Plant were once fierce rivals. Their bout 2 years ago was highly anticipated and marked by a near brawl during the pre-fight buildup. The intensity of their clash, where they almost came to blows before being separated, remains a vivid memory for boxing fans.
If you don't get the Canelo fight, then we gonna run it next. That's what you said, right? No, what I'm saying, that's what you said.
I promise you.
No, besides promise, I'm saying that's what you said.
I'm gonna knock you out, bro. I'm gonna knock you out. Take your glasses off. I'm gonna knock you out.
The encounter between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Belanger started with the usual trash talk, but soon escalated into slurs and personal insults. The tension reached a boiling point, and they nearly came to blows. Fortunately, those present stepped in just in time to prevent a full-blown brawl.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Buddy,
During Edgar Belanger's recent trash talk, he went so far as to troll many of Canelo Alvarez's past opponents, including Caleb Plant, who was present in the conference room. This provocation led to an unexpected alliance between Alvarez and Plant, united in their determination to ensure Belanger's defeat on fight night. Their partnership began after their own fight 3 years ago, during which they apologized for their previous spat at the press conference and acknowledged each other's skill and respect as fighters. Alvarez, who has always maintained a code of respect, made it clear that he would never insult someone's mother due to his own personal history, having lost his mother himself. This personal connection drove him to promise Plant that he would defeat Belanger on his behalf. Alvarez's support for Plant's actions against Belanger has been unwavering, even going as far as purchasing Belanger's domain name to further undermine him. In a recent interview, Alvarez expressed his disdain for Belanger, stating that he deserves whatever comes his way. He criticized Belanger's claims of having superior boxing IQ compared to Plant, dismissing them as false. Alvarez believes that Belanger is not even as skilled as his least challenging opponents. He expressed support for Plant's continued efforts against Belanger, asserting that it is necessary for Belanger to learn a lesson. In the high-stakes world of boxing, rivalries often spill beyond the ring, and the tension between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga is a prime example. This drama intensified during their recent press conference, held in advance of their upcoming fights on September 14th. Instead of focusing his criticisms on Alvarez, Berlanga, 27, directed his harsh remarks towards Caleb Plant, who was seated in the audience. As the press conference unfolded, Berlanga made it clear that he wanted to make Plant regret crossing paths with him. Meanwhile, Alvarez, 32, remained in the spotlight, with his name continuing to dominate the headlines. Edgar Berlanga's notorious trash-talking has reached new heights, especially with his recent antics intensifying his feud with Mexican champion Canelo Alvarez.
I'm a fighter, so I'm sure even a lot of you with the cameras, if somebody come up and shove you that hard, you're gonna come back at them, you know. And so, but we settled it. We settled it, you know, even after the fight in the ring.
In a twist, Berlanga's latest comments have also drawn Caleb Plant into the mix, sparking an unexpected alliance between Alvarez and Plant against Berlanga. The rivalry escalated dramatically at a press conference for their September 14th fights, where Alvarez and Berlanga are set to face off on the same card. Berlanga, 27, is scheduled to fight Alvarez, while Plant, 32, will compete for the WBA interim 168-pound title against Trevor McCumbee. Known for his sharp tongue, Berlanga didn't just target Alvarez, but also took aim at Plant, who was present at the event. Instead of solely focusing on his upcoming bout with Alvarez, Berlanga made pointed remarks about Plant, referencing a previous scuffle between Plant and Alvarez. Berlanga's comments seemed aimed at undermining Plant's reputation, with the fighter suggesting that boxing intelligence and strategy would be crucial on fight night. He mockingly referred to Plant, saying, "We're not going to end up like that doomed guy over there who got knocked out," while pointing at Plant. This provocation led to an unexpected alliance between Alvarez and Plant. Their relationship, previously marked by intense rivalry, had softened after their fight 3 years ago, in which Alvarez emerged victorious. Since then, both fighters have apologized to each other and acknowledged their mutual respect, setting the stage for a compelling dynamic in the lead-up to their respective bouts. The camaraderie between Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant has set the stage for a united front against Edgar Berlanga. This newfound alliance is a direct response to Berlanga's notorious trash-talking, which has particularly irked Plant. Taking Berlanga's jibes personally, Plant decided to retaliate in a unique way. He purchased Berlanga's domain name and used it to promote his own videos and content. This tactic, which Plant had previously used against David Benavidez, was a clear signal that he was not backing down and was prepared to use every tool at his disposal to undermine Berlanga. The public feud intensified following a press conference where Plant revealed his domain-buying move on social media, accompanied by a chess piece emoji to symbolize his strategic approach. Berlanga, unimpressed by Plant's actions, responded with repeated threats, vowing to smack him in the face. Plant countered these threats with characteristic bravado, warning that if Berlanga continued to provoke him, he wouldn't hesitate to retaliate. "If I put my foot in his backside," Plant said, "I don't want to hear any complaints. Let's see how he handles that." Plant further elaborated on his domain purchase in an interview, stating, "If you're a professional and you don't own your own domain, you don't even deserve to have it." He indicated that while he initially bought the domain to keep it as leverage, he might use it to further unsettle Berlanga in the future. Canelo Alvarez, meanwhile, has been vocal about his disdain for Berlanga. In a recent interview, Alvarez expressed his belief that Berlanga deserves whatever comes his way, asserting that Berlanga's claims of superior boxing IQ are unfounded. Alvarez, who has a personal stake in the matter due to the loss of his mother and his sensitivity to personal insults involving family, has taken Berlanga's comments to heart. This personal connection has further fueled Alvarez's support for Plant, transforming their shared animosity towards Berlanga into a powerful alliance. The dynamic between Alvarez and Plant, once marked by rivalry, now reflects a strategic partnership against a common adversary, making the build-up to their fights even more compelling. The growing alliance between Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant has created a formidable front against Edgar Berlanga, intensifying the anticipation for their upcoming bout on September 14th. As fight night approaches, Berlanga, who boasts an undefeated record of 22 wins with 17 knockouts, faces the most significant challenge of his career. Critics question whether Berlanga can match Alvarez's extensive experience and refined skill set, with Plant, who has previously fought Alvarez, expressing skepticism about Berlanga's chances. Plant bluntly stated that Berlanga would need skills, durability, and experience he currently lacks to overcome Alvarez. Despite the doubts, Berlanga remains defiant and views the fight as a chance to prove his critics wrong and cement his status as a top contender. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Berlanga criticized Plant sharply, accusing him of seeking attention through controversial tactics and implying that Plant's relevance hinges on fighting prominent opponents. "He's doing a lot of weird stuff just to be relevant again," Berlanga said, dismissing Plant as a hater. For Alvarez, the bout against Berlanga is more than just another title defense. It is an opportunity to silence critics who claim he has avoided tougher opponents, such as David Benavidez. Alvarez's super middleweight career has seen him face numerous formidable contenders, including Gennady Golovkin and Caleb Plant. However, his decision to not include some challengers, like William Skull, led to the International Boxing Federation stripping him of his belt. This added pressure on Berlanga to deliver in his first world championship opportunity in 8 years. Plant, who knows firsthand the challenges of facing Alvarez, believes Berlanga is ill-prepared for the fight. He emphasized that Berlanga lacks the requisite skills, durability, and boxing intelligence needed to compete at Alvarez's level. Plant conceded that while he wouldn't completely rule out facing Berlanga in the future, he firmly believes Berlanga is not yet ready for a challenge of Alvarez's caliber. As the fight draws nearer, the clash of perspectives and the buildup of animosity promise an electrifying showdown.